Hi, this is Rekha, and I'm Gabby. Join us all summer long as we're on the hunt for local businesses and amazing hidden gems in our beautiful cities of Edmonton and Fort McMurray, which this totally isn't. Tune in, cause this is RNG in the 780.
Hi guys, my name is Rekha. I'm the R in RNG in the 780. Today we're here to talk to Sue and Morgan about Azimuth Theatre and what they do for the community. All right, come on in. Let's see here. Oh, and look who it is.
Oh.
I didn't see you there.
Oh, I love it.
No. I mean, I didn't plan either, so. I'm like right in the middle. Just strategically, non-strategically, just happened to be like
can't
this.
be a theater without a theater block.
No, of course not. So maneuverable. We can do whatever we want with it. It's
Become anything. You want this to be a spaceship? It's a spaceship.
We're in it. Rocket launchers ready.
Go. Oh my god, that still stresses me out.
No. Oh my god. I just got a little PTSD for that. All right, thank you guys for joining us. This has been such an adventure, like so far, trying to live stream people and talk to them about themselves. So can you guys please introduce yourselves to everyone at home?
Oh, sure.
You go ahead.
Yeah,
first.
okay. My name is Sue Goberdhan. I'm going to talk to Gabby.
Yeah, I'm here too.
Gabby's here too.
Yeah.
Yeah. My name is Sue Goberdhan. My pronouns are she, her. I was born in Scarborough, Ontario, and I moved here. I do theater for a living. Theater. Sometimes musical theater. And yeah, I run half of the ship with Morgan here at Azimuth Theatre. And yeah, I don't know. I like cool snacks and cool people. I really like a movie. Many movies, actually.
Have you been watching any lately?
Have I been watching? Oh my gosh. Oh god. What am I not? I feel like consistently I am just always, it's terrible. I'm mostly watching TV right now.
Yeah.
I just finished Jane the Virgin.
Ooh.
It's so good.
Yes.
Someone's gotta tell somebody. It's very good.
They must know.
They must know. Jane the Virgin is actually really good.
Love it.
Yeah, very good. I watched it in a shameful amount of time. Okay, 5 seasons and like network TV seasons, so like 23 episodes.
She's a marathoner.
A week.
She's out here
A
like
week.
ready for it.
I finished it in a week. How terrible is that? What is my life?
I love it. Sometimes you just need to let yourself go through that. And I mean, post-pandemic, you know.
It's just, I can't wait. It is so good. Anyways, that's me. I've really steered the ship away from the point. So Morgan, please.
I've got it. We're right on course. My name is Morgan, Morgan Yamada, and my pronouns are she, her, and I also help run Azimuth Theatre here in Edmonton. I know, here. We're live.
Here.
Hi, I do the theater, but I'm an actor by trade, I guess.
I would say it's a trade. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a skill.
Oh, it
it's
totally
an art.
is.
You take it and go with it, you know?
Oh, 100%. And like how theater works is so similar to the trades in terms of like apprenticeship and mentorship and how you actually develop your skill set is like through doing the thing. And then I'm also a fight director, and I work like here and kind of across Turtle Island. Well, the Canadian, like Canada right there. But that's kind of what my deal is.
Nice.
And I'm a Jaeger through and through. I was born here, lived in a suburb, now live back here. It's a great time.
Nice.
I love Yeg. It's good.
Yeah, it's good times.
Yeah, it's good times. And like, I get to run a theater company was one of my best buds. So
That's the dream,
It's a
really.
dream, honestly.
especially coming out of like theater school and you're like, I'm learning all these things. What do I do with those skills? Like I have this, I am a product. I'm learning all these artistic, methods. But what do I do with it? And how do I get people to care about it? So like, how did you guys get into or create Azimuth together?
yeah, so we actually didn't create it. Azimuth has been around for a good long while. For our 31 years.
Wow.
Real cute, real soon. So Azimuth has been around for a long time and has kind of been like a staple within the Edmonton community and has been a place where folks can like experiment and learn and kind of like throw stuff at a wall and see if it sticks and then get to develop movement body-based work as of late. Sue?
Yeah, and like, I don't know, it's also just been like a really sweet like playground for developing risky work. Like it's cool that the work that kind of has come before our time, like our tenure, has been work that kind of pushes boundaries and builds space for folks to kind of share parts of themselves that they never really got to before, that we don't typically get to see, which I think is really awesome.
And Azimuth too ended up, like the name itself is kind of magical and like really inspires Sue and I, one, in our branding and marketing, but two, just in what we do is, it's a vector of measurement. So an azimuth is the journey between, or the space between you and the horizon. So it's always striving to like fill that space. So we're always trying to figure out where the boundary is and how we can achieve that and then keep going forward. So that's kind of, I think, what's guided us a lot. And that whole cheesy thing of like, it's not about the destination, but it's the journey on how you get there. That's what we use. So
I love it. Trust the process. It's always trust the process.
Totally.
well, and it's like probably in process. It's just like,
Yeah, we live in a perpetual state of like never being complete. We're just never done with anything, with creating who we are, with creating our art. We're just not done. And I think that that's like a really cool way that we kind of push forward too, is like recognizing that no matter what we do, it's never, it can never not be better. It can never not be different.
Yeah.
There's a lot to, that was such a roundabout way to say that.
No, it's good. It's great.
hi, we're theater folk. We love to talk.
Can you tell?
That's what we need. No, that's what we need. We need people who like to talk and tell us about themselves. How else are we supposed to learn anything, right?
Yeah, totally. Oh, totally. Yeah, it's a funny thing, just like having these situations where we can like sit here and just like talk at you and like and be like, yeah, so you're listening, right?
Let me say it again just in case.
Theater.
How did you like either of you like get into theater? Like what was your need, your why, your start?
Oh goodness. Okay, great. So I was super shy as a kid, like super shy. And my mom was like, no, it's gonna help you. You're gonna go into musical theater camp.
She was just
Which
like,
is great.
and come on, it's just
And
the deep end.
go.
Go.
And me and my sister did it together, and it was a beautiful time, and I got to experience a lot. I got to know what it's like to screw up on stage very wonderfully. And my lovely sister and me had like a wonderful duet, and then I decided I don't remember the words. I decided that, but I forgot all the words, and then just lip synced and was like, man, this is nice. Everybody's like clapping for you. You're doing yeah. So I'm like, maybe I should just do drag now. But
Nice.
but it was really great, and it was that kind of like match that started the fire in terms of what performing could be, and then every part of my life from then on has just been adjacent to theater. And then I got to high school and was like, well, we should do the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go with it. Hey guys, welcome back to our live stream. We just had a little technical difficulty, but we're back, and I believe we left off with asking Sue about her theater journey.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. I feel like we got to catch you up on everything else we were talking about too. We talked about Paul Rudd. We talked about hats.
Yes.
Anyways, yeah, my theater journey. What a time. So I started theater in middle school because it was just the easiest option. It was the easiest one, so I was just like, let's go.
You're trying to get an A, right?
Exactly. I'm trying to get an A, but then I was like, I can express myself.
Yes.
And I like it. And then in high school, I just kept doing the thing because I was like, I'm riding this wave and I'm getting A's, so we're just going to do it. But then I like really started to like dig it and like kind of understand like how valuable storytelling can be in that way. And like I was really inspired because like I had never seen like, it was a long time ago. Like, so I hadn't seen anyone who looked even remotely like me on a stage. And then the year before I went to high school, my friend's sister was in a play at the high school we were going to. So we were like, yeah, let's go. And they were doing Alice in Wonderland. Yeah. And I remember like this girl in hijab like was the turtle. And she just like completely slayed it. Like she was amazing. I still think about it. And I remember like seeing that and then seeing like all the other characters and my friend's sister and and I was like, man, there's some brown people on this stage.
Yes.
I can do it. I can do it.
Yes, you can.
And then I was just like, we're going to do it. And then I started writing with one of my best friends. Actually, a few of my best friends for the first show we wrote. We wrote a musical about superheroes who like have really terrible superpowers. It was really silly. It was very fun. It was called Almost Heroes. And we started writing that in high school and put it up 7 years after.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we went to town. We wrote.
True process.
Yeah.
Yes.
Serious. And then one of my friends from that project and I went on to write a different show, Marnie Day, and which was a total 180. And in between there, like I just kind of explored every facet of this thing. I did a little bit of directing, I act, I sing, and then I like went to school for theater and realized this is not for me. And then I was like, let's just do this practically. Yeah. And so I did theater in the community. And yeah, I don't know. I just like it's been really cool because we've been able to see like this like palpable impact that storytelling can have. And like in that time, I physically was able to see it with my eyes. There was one time, this is like the crown jewel of any accomplishment that I've ever had in my life. In the superhero musical, I was a character called Hot Chocolate. Ooh. I know, saucy. Ooh. I know.
So spicy.
It's so
a little chili in there.
Yeah, exactly. And so I was a character called Hot Chocolate, and I had this rap, and it was so stupid. I'm not gonna do it.
Yes. But do you remember any of the rap that you did? Meme.
Oh no. Oh my god. I do. Wait. Okay, now I have to. I built myself this hole. I'm gonna come back to it.
We're just digging. You're digging. We'll come back to it.
Okay.
We can use it as a closer, even maybe. I don't know, but I might spring it back on you.
Okay. Well, let's. I'm gonna. Okay. Oh,
put it on me.
Okay, no, but okay, this is what happened. So I was this character, had this rap that like people were always like, yo, the rap. And I was like, cool.
Nice.
And I remember I was like there was a pop-up shop for Riverdale at Route 99.
Oh, nice.
And I was in line forever. Like I was just standing out there with my friend. Because we had nothing better to do, apparently. And we were standing there, we're waiting, and I noticed this kid is like staring at me. And I'm like, and I say kid, he was like just entering high school, I think.
Yeah.
And I noticed him and his friend, they're looking at me. And all of a sudden, he comes up to me and he's like, are you Hot Chocolate?
No.
Yeah,
no.
Okay, no, but it gets better. So then I was like, are you kidding? Yes!
That's the moment.
Oh, but it gets better though, because then we're still waiting for hours for this stupid thing.
Yeah.
And it's cold.
Oh, yeah.
And then he comes back and he brought me a hot chocolate. And then on the sleeve, it said, Too hot chocolate. Love, your biggest fan.
Aww.
I have that cut out. It's in my office. I keep it.
That's too sweet.
It was
though.
so
Oh my
precious.
gosh.
And like, if I didn't know before, that was the moment where I was just like, people care when they get to see something cool
Yeah.
and original and new and silly and something that represents, you know, the underdogs of the world.
Hell
you know.
yeah. I love when something from the community like lives in my mind. Like you can live there forever rent free.
100%.
No problems. I could if like something from the community that I've seen just randomly pops up in my brain while I'm washing dishes. Nice. And that's what I'm living for. That's what I'm living for. Like just like replay that over and over again. Free entertainment. You know.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
about it.
It's
I'm
a
about
bargain.
it.
It's a bargain.
Oh, it is. It truly
Big
is.
time.
Yes. Yes. So that rap though.
Oh my god. I don't know if I'm trying to think if there are any words that we would not want on this.
Oh.
That's a nice try to get out of this.
No. Yeah,
There
yeah.
is.
I don't know. If you see, you'll just have to see the show when it's remounted.
Yeah.
You're gonna.
That's an
you're
even
gonna
better
do it.
way out of
Okay,
this.
one day
Now.
it'll
Now.
happen.
Now
Now
we're
it has
putting
to
it out
happen.
there
I'm not
tomorrow.
We're
involved in
starting
this
to
at all.
talk about rewrites.
That's
so,
it. That's it.
You know, that
Yeah.
might be it. And there's also a soundtrack on Bandcamp.
Yes.
Almost Heroes, Igneous Theater Productions.
Nice.
You can also go to couldbecooltheater.com. It's
Nice.
on there.
Nice.
Plug
nice.
for another theater company.
Yeah.
It's in
my
Edmonton.
God.
There's something wrong with that, right?
Oh,
we can do that.
boy.
We're allowed.
Oh, Morgan.
Best.
Oh. This is me 100% in support.
Of
Check them out.
course. Of course. Right? We gotta build the community together, right? Plug everyone. Plug everyone.
Legit, there's gonna be a list at the end, so like,
Get ready.
get ready.
Yes. You hear that, Gabby? You have to put a list at the end now.
What?
The Edmonton community is small but mighty.
We're just putting it out there into the universe because what better way to manifest an awesome production to come back to life?
I'm gonna have to
We
send
need
this
it.
to some people.
We need it. We truly do need it. Yes, please.
Again, somebody's gotta tell somebody. So that will be me, and I will tell the somebody.
We're telling you
Hello,
guys.
there's people. Hi.
So like,
Oh boy.
what other like events do you guys have going on? What is in the works for Azimuth?
Yeah. Woof. We got a
Please.
lot.
A lot.
Nice.
It's been a full season, which has been like really magical, honestly. Because this is like basically like our first season in person. So soon I came on board with Azimuth in 2020 in October of 2020. So for us, it was like a lot of a learning and how we pivot and how we shift and how we run a theater company remotely for two years, and we still do, really.
Yeah.
So for us, it's we started and we were like, great, we're gonna just host online performance labs.
Nice.
And performance labs for us is like a way that we inherited the program from the folks who came before us. So Christy and Vanessa, who are just amazing, so great.
We love
I cannot
them.
say enough.
We stand
about how
Christy and
much
Vanessa. Big
We
time.
love them.
Shout out.
Yes. Also, they run a theater company called Maggie Tree.
Maggie Tree.
Yeah. Check them out. They're amazing. So for us, we got to build on performance labs. So performance labs are basically like a professional grade education in a drop-in format with a pay-what-you-will structure. So every week, every Monday, we have folks come in and teach, and we get to just learn from all of these amazing theater professionals, like what their practice is and like what they get to focus on, and they get to share some of their little like tidbits of knowledge. Tidbits? Timbits. I said timbits.
It's okay, Timbits. We are from Edmonton.
Little
This is a
tidbits of
Canadian
knowledge.
thing.
Dear importance.
It's a really wonderful way that our community like feeds itself. It's just like a really sustainable practice to allow folks to have access to this like really gate-kept, educational
Yeah.
opportunity for whatever they can afford.
Just making it as accessible as possible. I mean, like it can be really, intimidating almost to try and find something online, try and find something that's really niche, right? Especially like if you went to school for it, if you went to university or college or anything like that, it's a very intense, rigorous program, right?
Totally.
You went to what was the program that you did?
I did the BFA at the U of A, so it was like a conservatory style program for basically I lived and breathed theater for 3 years, and that was really great for me in terms of like developing my skill sets and really focusing on what I wanted to do, and all of the skills that I learned, I like cherish those inherently.
Yeah.
However, there's also like huge barriers in that. It's like a super exclusive, like it's a very like gate kept structure, right? So how do we take that knowledge and how do we share it in a way that's accessible and easeful? Where it's like the stakes have never been so low, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the thing that we joke about it as is like the stakes are not high, they're low, they're fun. But also that allows us to be able to like explore in ways where you can share freely, and it's not about creating a space where there's fear or we're not blanket statement saying that this is a fully safe space, because we can't guarantee that, but we can guarantee a brave space where we can like explore and be able to share some thoughts and also be like, cool, that was the thing, we tried it. Might not work for me, but it works for you, so that's great, right? Like,
I love that. I love that idea of a brave space, a place for you to just like hone your courageousness and just do it, just get in there. I love that.
And I think that's something that we've like learned from so many people before us too, like so many like anti-oppressive teachers for theater, and I think beyond that is like that's just stuff that we've like assimilated into our practice. Is just like, hello, I'm a sponge, I absorb you, that's nice. And yeah,
it feels like I don't know, it feels like, you know, if we were to throw ourselves back 50 years in time and you know, like the folks will be like, you know, I went to all the rallies, I did all the things, and then for us to come back here and like be the beneficiaries of that work and to like see it in action, I think is such a huge part of why Azimuth works, because like this company is just like constantly evolving, and I guess this is probably a good time to bring up this lovely little space that we're in. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, look at that turn.
We're gonna
Hello.
Attempt to
Welcome.
I don't
to
just
this
get to
space.
be pretty face behind the camera. But, you know. So take us through.
Yeah, well, this is a playhouse. So
Yes.
the playhouse is like a theater space that's in Amiskwaci, so in Edmonton. And here, take a little turnaround. Woo!
Ooh.
Oh my gosh, we're live. What? Wow. Oh, look at all of our stuff. But this is like a space that was curated and created by our wonderful neighbors upstairs, and we're just like the fun pals who rent. But Concrete Theatre and Alberta Musical Theatre Company, they created this other venue in the city, which is amazing.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
such a gift to have such a wonderful community welcome us into this space.
Yeah, and like just in terms of like, you know, people who like don't necessarily like have an office upstairs, like this space is also deeply affordable. It's so rooted in the community and like what folks need. And yeah, it's like Morgan said, we're so lucky to be able to share this space with so many incredible companies, and just to be able to kind of learn from each other and share resources and share knowledge. It's amazing. It's just funny though, because we did inherit this company in the middle of a pandemic, and we were in a different office on the other side of town. And so in February of 2021, we moved everything here. But do we work here? No. We're still working from home. But it still makes all the difference in the world when we get to like come to the office and we have all our friends upstairs just like, you know, working away, and we can all like share our space and be happy to share it together.
Yeah, and share like nerdy arts admin things.
Yes.
That like a very few people will be as excited about a spreadsheet as art administrators.
Oh wow, it's a very specific niche.
Oh yeah,
Very specific.
Ooh, we love some efficient templates.
Nice.
But I also think here in this space it's lovely too, because it's also a fringe venue, so you'll be able to like see shows here during the fringe, and also the amount of people who come in and out of this space rehearsing work. Like on this floor, there's been so many stories told.
Oh, yeah.
Which is so magical, and I think that's true of all the theaters in the city, where it's like there's so many different perspectives and so many different people who've been like, hi, I've cried and rolled on this floor so many times.
Yeah.
But for work.
Yes.
You know. But I don't know. That's why this space is great.
Yeah, as a professional.
As a professional,
I've
of course.
tried to roll
Professional,
on
of
the
course.
floor.
I'm
Cry and roll.
professionally trained to do this.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Stop, cry, and roll.
Stop, cry,
Roll!
Hi, will you hire me now? Is this good yet? Have I cried enough yet? Please.
But also laugh.
I don't know. It's so, I don't know if y'all have ever been to clown school.
I took a clowning class for school, but not clown school.
So, I don't know. It's, tell us about that. What's your clown's name?
My clown's name is Krim.
Oh.
Krim, because it's short for crimson.
Oh.
Short for crimson blood. I will drink the blood of my enemies. So that's
So kind.
I'm glad that we're live. So yeah, my clown's name is Krim, and my clown has shocked many clowns before, and also shocked a professor once or twice. And my profs have, if any of them have ever seen, which they have asked me after. They're like, I would like to speak to Krim, and I'm like, we just did the exercise to take us out of our
I
nose.
don't wanna...
You want me to get back into my nose so you can talk to my clown who is not supposed to speak? Okay. Awkward. So, like, I want to talk to Krim about what Krim just did. And like,
You may not.
You may not. If the pandemic may or may not have happened if Krim was in charge. So not okay. So yeah, that's. Please tell me about your clown.
I bring it up because that is like the penultimate, like, rolling and crying on the floor is clown school. Clown school is the thing to, like, force you to do the actor things that seem like TV tropes but are actually real and valuable.
Yes.
Like, people have no idea. My clown's name is Loops. She's the great clown psychologist. My clown talks.
Nice.
Oh, mine's Muddle.
Oh!
I just muddled my way through world.
I
That's
love
so
it.
cute.
Krim makes the other clowns roll around and cry and stands there very confused, like, why you cry? You're fine. If you're not fine, I will make you stop crying. Yeah.
Well, and like speaking of clown too, to bring it to Azimuth, what? Talk about a segue. Is our ASMAP folks are just jumping into clown next week.
Oh, nice.
And ASMAP is our apprenticeship and mentorship program. So it's like Azimuth, MAP, mentorship and apprenticeship program. Nice. We thought we were
Nice.
really smart.
We love that.
The branding, the trajectory. It's like we're on vectors. It's a really nerdy joke that kind of doesn't make sense. Anyway.
It sounds good the way you say it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Say everything with confidence.
Yes, if you say it with confidence, you make other people understand what you're saying, even if they don't know.
Morgan likes to tell people she's not funny, and I think that's absolute trash.
It
I
is.
think
What the
Morgan is
heck?
hilarious.
But hello, are you not entertained?
Are you entertained?
So, but ASMAP is our mentorship program, and we've had two wonderful folks who've been able to join us over the past 8 months. No, we're at 7 months. 7 months now. The program is 8 months long. Carly Neese and Brett Jacobs, and we've been able to like see their trajectory and their path and their map forward through, like, they both get coachings, like teaching. So we have like instructors come in and teach them privately over the course of the process, as well as we have like them placed with different mentors so they can talk through
different artistic practices, and then also get to shadow some pieces along the way too. So shadow different processes in different companies, and yeah, it's been kind of magical to be able to like go on this journey and learn from them, and be able to like have an idea of reciprocal education. So like, how can we learn from each other? And yeah, you can talk more on it too, but
yeah, like we like to say that this is like the program that like we wish we had. In some ways, like like this is the first time we've ever done something like this, so there's a lot of room to grow and a lot of room to change, but like this opportunity was tailored to our participants' needs. They came to us and said, these are our goals, and we said, these are the ways that you can get there. How do we want to do this together? And it's been really awesome, not just for our wonderful folks, but also because our community has come out to support like big time. You know, I have yet to think of a company who like, when asked, said, no, you cannot come and join us on our journey. That's not a thing.
Not what happens.
That's not a thing. This is such a wonderful tiny little community that like that we really believe that it can feed itself if you kind of build the structures for that to happen. So yeah, that's kind of the gist of the ASMAP. It's been pretty cool. It's been pretty
Bring
cool.
people together. You never know what could happen, and it's amazing all the possibilities, right? I mean, like I don't know if you guys think about this at all, like where you came from, and now you're sitting like near each other, and you're just like, did we get here magically or what? Like
it
feels
honestly,
like it,
it's
right?
kind of magic, because me and Sue didn't like, we met at a conference, and it was a 3.7 conference, which was an organization, or is an organization, is a group of fun folks.
Yeah.
love that.
Who and it was in Banff, and we all just like, it was a leadership conference basically, of like how to be awesome. That's really cheesy, but it was really magical.
Yeah.
And we got to meet each other, and we like sat at the same table, and there's this picture of us, and we're both tired because it's like it's early morning, and we're learning about how not to be a butt, and then you're just like sitting there and you're just like, this is magical. But there's this picture of both of us, and we're like, if we told them in a year that they'd be working together, it wouldn't even cross my mind, because we just
would
like
not compute.
we connected. I was like, oh, I like your sweater.
Yeah,
You're cool, sweet. And then we both applied for this job, and then
separately.
Yeah. So we applied separately. So it was an open call for two people who would want to kind of run the ship, and we both applied, and then we were paired. It was kind of magical.
Match made in heaven.
It's almost, you could almost like frame that picture, put it up, and be like us, how long ago, and then us now.
Yeah.
It started from the conference. Now we here.
Now we're here.
Now we're here. I love it.
Yeah. But honestly, like, and the 3.7 too is such this magical group of women and non-binary folks of color who were wanting to really nurture leadership, right? And it did that. And it was magical.
It really did. Like like, you know, it's in the time since, like, a lot of people have seen new work. They've seen more opportunities to hone their leadership skills. Like, you know, it's so exciting, and like it's also something that we, you know, kind of constantly have to remember that we are not a singular occurrence in this, you know, wacky jungle that we live in. We are a part of like a larger ecosystem, and we have to learn to rely on that ecosystem. And so like to have those intersections to kind of lean on it has been, I can't think of a word important enough to like tell you how amazing it's been. We've got a lot of theater aunties who take such good care of us.
Oh, honestly,
all the time.
We would not be anywhere where we are without all of the people who have like taught us what to do and still teach us what to do. Yeah. Like, me and Sue are making a lot of stuff up as we go, and we will proudly say that. Well, let's figure it out. We'll find a better way to do it, and we always have those people to be like, oh no.
Like, please We've exhausted everything.
Yeah. What should I write in this grant? Right? And then we have those folks to be able to like take us through their journey, which is so lovely. And that's, I think, like the value of mentorship, and that's kind of like at the core of like what Azimuth is turning into with us in our iteration of what Azimuth is. And it'll be something different with other people, right?
Yeah.
But what we want to leave it with is the idea of like constant learning.
Yeah, building mentorship into every step of the creative process. Yeah.
I think that's an amazing way to also pay homage to the people who've come before you, because you're including them in your learning style. You're including them in grandfathering other people into it, to be like, hey, we didn't know everything, but they taught us something, and then we can also teach you from the things that we learned or adapted from them, and it kind of just keeps going from there.
Big time.
Right? Can you tell us more about like 3.7? Like how did you guys get to 3.7?
Yeah. We like to make a joke. We like to make the joke that together we make one full administrator.
Like,
and I mean,
perfectly dressed to match too. Like,
yeah, we planned it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we planned it.
On Wednesdays we wear jumpsuits.
Yeah. So the 3.7 is a really cool initiative. It started with Boca del Lupo in Vancouver, and I believe it was 2017. They did a study that concluded that all artistic leadership positions in Canada held by women and non-binary folks of color equated to 3.7% of the whole. Which is, Gabby's making this face.
Like it's the intersection of like specifically those categories all together.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Which is wild, right?
Yeah.
So the 3.7 exists to kind of to increase the number. To increase the number. And I don't know where we're sitting right now, but if the past few years are any marker, it must have gone up.
Yeah.
I hope it has.
It has to, with a lot of representation, like growing in our media and communities, it has to be more.
Well, here in Edmonton, like, it has. It absolutely has. It's very exciting. And that's the thing, is like, so the roads to getting these jobs were like just kind of funny in the way, because there were folks, who kind of had their paws in a lot of different honeypots, and one of them was and we would hear from folks saying, like, you should apply for this. Like, I wouldn't have known that I stood a chance had someone from the 3.7 not reach out to me and say, hey, you really do stand a shot. You should apply for this. Because I wasn't going to. I wasn't going to. I was just like, I think they're looking for someone better than me.
Oh, yeah, there's always that fear, right? It's like, do I have the skills for this?
Yeah.
Am I good enough?
So, but yeah, it really does make all the difference in the world to have this, like, beautiful community. And, like, sometimes there are meetings between the 3.7, Alberta chapter and the Vancouver chapter, and it's really cool. It's really cool, and I think it's something that is volunteer run, so we don't see as much, activity in the 3.7.
Because so many folks are just busy working.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And I think that comes down to like capacity.
Exactly.
Too. And how as arts folks we tend to have like we're all little bears and we have so many paws in the honeypots to bring back the image that Sue beautifully put in my brain. But it's like, what can we do with like the time resource that we all have?
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing with 3.7 is like, it's like we're all just working. We're working.
Exactly.
Which is that's the dream,
the
right?
goal.
You want to be kind of like already focusing on something that you've wanted the whole time, or something you've been working on, right? And then all of a sudden it's just like, I have to focus on this and set aside this for now, because I'm working. It's not just a hobby anymore. It's not just a dream. It's like, this is what we're doing now.
Well, yeah, totally. And I think like the arts are work, and I think that's the thing too, where it's like you get to see the best stuff with people who are like are working in the field, right? It's just like any other trade. It's like it's accounting, but with art.
Yeah. And there's seasons, right? There's the off season.
Yeah.
There's your busy season. Feast or famine is what I've been told once or twice.
We're fighting against it.
We're really
fighting. Come on, sustainability.
Yes.
And like for us, like our busy season is Expanse, which is like our annual festival, which is super fun. Do you want to talk about Expanse?
Yes, please tell us about Expanse.
Expanse is awesome. It started years ago from folks who from past leadership, and it's a body-based exploration of theater and dance and inclusivity on stage, all bodies on stage. So as a part of that, what it's evolved to now is we have some main stage productions that kind of happen at any stage of the creative process. So because we're really celebrating every stage of the process. We want to, perfection is boring. We want to see the journey, right? Yeah. So so we have some main stages, and then the Azimuth collaboration there exists with a number of companies. We operate out of the Fringe building. Those folks are some of our favorite partners. They're wonderful.
Oh, and they take care. They take really so much care. Awesome. Like they're amazing. And Murray used to run Azimuth.
Yeah.
So Murray, who runs the Fringe, who is a part of the leadership team at the Fringe, also used to run Azimuth, which is kind of magic.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we also collaborate with Sound Off, the Deaf Theater Festival, which is so cool.
It's so rocking.
It usually happens at the same time. Both of our festivals kind of overlap at some
we used
point.
to be all partners in a big fest called Chinook, but now we're kind of all growing in different ways. So now we're little siblings. We're like, hey, I see you. Let's hang out.
Exactly. Yeah. And the dance portion of the Azimuth programming in part happens in collaboration with the Good Women Dance Collective. They curate a season of dance for Expanse, and every year, which is awesome, and it's always exploring new work, and the pieces are so cool. I am someone who does not speak dance. I try to understand it, and I try to keep an open mind, and I love it. I love it, but it's not my first language, right? But when it comes to these pieces, they're so deeply ingrained in the human experience. Everything just feels like it's made to be understood, no matter if you're getting it right. It's just they're made to I don't know. I feel as an audience member like it was made for me, even though I typically wouldn't feel that way in any other space. So that's the Good Women. And then we have the Lobbyists, which, they're so cool.
Oh, okay.
They're the best. Yeah. Would you like to talk about the Lobbyists?
Please tell us. So the Lobbyists is run by one of the festival founders, Amber Brodzik, who is our outreach coordinator as well at Azimuth, and is just
a wonder.
Amazing. A wonder. We sit at Appreciation Station on Thursdays at Azimuth, where we just talk about people we appreciate. We're cheesy that way, but Amber comes up so often as our Appreciation Station subject. But she runs the Lobbyists. So the Lobbyist is basically our program at Azimuth that really nurtures emerging artists and emerging dancers, and they do site-specific work in the lobby or any other place that works for them that season. Okay. So they'll create pop-up performances that are really flexible and nimble, cool. and fill the lobby in between other work happening. So if there's a panel going on, the Lobbyist will go on right after the panel finishes as we wait to go into the show, so that it really creates an intertwining of art and people. So they're interactive. They allow people to see art differently and theater differently. So that's a kind of a magical thing that the Lobbyists do. And also the Lobbyists just crush it after they get to work with Amber. They're just they're hey, I got tools to succeed. Boom.
Nice.
One of the pieces they did this year is oh gosh, they were all amazing, but my favorite one was you could text an idea to a hotline, and then it would be projected on a wall, and then the Lobbyists would create a dance around the idea. So one of them, oh my gosh, one of them was so funny. It was a monkey. They're monkeys who...
They had a banana, and it was very
They had
sad.
a banana.
It's beautiful.
maybe
a banana.
Yeah, I forget what it was so silly and so funny, and it was beautifully done. Like they just like really like nail it. They just find a way to make it all feel accessible and like it's meant for everyone in the room.
Yeah, and it's collectively created too. Like it's the stuff that the lobbyist does is wonderful. And then we have workshops.
Yes, please tell us about workshops. Like how can we get into those? Like how can we?
Yeah, well, like every expanse we have in-person workshops, and something Sue and I are trying to like kind of build into it too is it's workshops taught by the artists who are a part of the festival, so they can actually meet the community in different ways. So it's not just like you see somebody on stage. It's like, hi, I just did a show. Do you want to learn how I built the show? So it becomes about the artists, even we bring in from out of town, get to also be engaged with community. And I think that's the wonderful thing. If it's either through workshops or talkbacks, it's about how do we break down that facade of like, artist, I'm an artist. I sit over here and I'm fancy and hello, I'm going to perform for you. So how do we have that intertwining of community, audience, artist, community, audience, artist, and having that interchange happen.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of the thing that's exciting.
Oh yeah, definitely. With all these events being so accessible, like especially in Edmonton for the summer, that just makes it easier for people to learn a little bit, especially if you're curious, right? Because it can be a little, as I said earlier, it can be a little intimidating trying to jump in, right? But I think one of the best ways or best introductions is to have seen a performance, and then for you guys to come in and say, did you like what you saw? Because you can come in and learn how to do that. That's absolutely beautiful. I love that. Is there anything that you're working on this summer right now that's like, let's go?
Well,
yes,
we have a
I love that phase.
other thing.
Yes,
We decided not to just start slow. We decided to like just dive in with so many things. So for us, we also got to launch something alongside one of our wonderful collaborators, Andres Moreno. They're like amazing. It's so wonderful. So they came to us with an idea. They were one of our co-collaborators, so one of the mentee positions as a part of Expanse. So they were like, hey, I have an idea for a multimedia stream. Can we do more of this? And we're like, yes.
Yeah,
please. So we now have this multimedia stream of Azimuth that's called Traversing the Azimuth. We like a theme.
That we do.
Can you tell?
Yeah, right? What? Things need to be in a specific order. But so Traversing the Azimuth is basically just a multimedia dive-in. So we have a podcast called In Process that talks to different artists within our community who are at different points of process in their career. So it goes from emerging to established. And we have season 1 in the can.
Yeah.
It's like ready to release. So it's going to be released monthly for the year, potentially with more episodes dropping. And we're hoping to start recording season 2 in October. And that's something that Andres just ran with, and it was such a joy. We got to be on an episode, and it was just like kind of magical.
It's out now!
Woohoo!
Yay! Where can people find that?
So if you follow Azimuth on Instagram, we're just like at Instagram. We have a TikTok.
Anywhere
Yes,
you
love
get
it.
your podcasts, you can get In Process.
Yeah,
That's
so
what we love.
if you look up In Process, Azimuth Theatre.
Maybe at Azimuth.
At
after your
Azimuth,
search.
yeah, because there's another. Just look for the Azimuth Theatre.
Just trust that Azimuth has got you.
Yeah, we got you. Also, if you look on our website, we have a whole thing that's traversing too. So there's that part of it, and we have another couple projects in the hopper, which are great, alongside some of our wonderful collaborators who might be behind the camera.
Is that
You
you?
have 15 seconds before it's self-promotion. That's what I've been told.
But we do have some other wonderful collaborators who have been able to like jump on board and really, really help us. And Andreas really build out some videos. So we have a couple sneak short films coming y'all's way, hopefully soon. hopefully in like September we'll have a big
Love it.
launch. And then we also have a cartoon.
What?
Yeah, it's about penguins.
It's
Oh,
so cute. It's called Ray and Cora.
They plan a. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Cora plan a
So
heist.
we have a cartoon in the works that's like being animated as we speak. And it's really geared towards a TYA audience. So that's something that we've noticed too is we really want to reach out to a broader community and like how do we share joy, fun, and also like celebrating just everybody. You know what I mean? Like not having it focused on one lens and like how do we expand that? So that was our way of like being like, well, we don't know what the world is going to throw at us. So digital?
Exactly.
Nice.
That's actually like something that's been such a gift coming out of the pandemic is like forcing us to take everything online has inherently made our practice that much more sustainable and accessible. Like we're able to kind of give folks access routes to taking in theater that they didn't have before, which I think is awesome. And that's like, you know, something that companies all over the place have been doing beautifully. So that's definitely like a takeaway that I really value for us.
Oh yeah, it's definitely awesome to be able to reach everyone, and even just like for me during the pandemic, having access to digitized media was huge for me.
Oh yeah.
Because I was like worried about whether I'm the kind of person I'll go for a walk, but then I need to go somewhere. Like I need to go inside somewhere or do something that's like enjoyable. If I can bring my TV outside and have I did a little viewing outside one time in my backyard, just to like promote one of my friends' shows. So doing something like that was awesome for me. So like going forward for me was like if I could do this again and just have like a live, like, you know, come pop into my patio theater kind of thing, that would be great for all theater. Actually, I think that we actually were able to consume some live theater through like a watch party together. We all just bought tickets to the online show, and we were able to watch one of our friends who was I think he was doing theater in Vancouver somewhere.
Was it Calgary, perhaps?
Or Calgary. Oh, yes.
Oh.
Calgary. Why did I... Yeah. So it was just so nice to not have to drive somewhere and just be able to watch something safely from home, especially if you're an introvert like me, which is, you know, hard to believe, but like I've become a little introverted. So yeah, that's awesome that you guys have made it more accessible for people to consume theater and learn about it.
Yeah, and I think like that's like kind of a snapshot of like at least like our version of ads right now as it is, and it might shift, it might change, but like
that's the gorgeous thing about this company is that it's so tiny that it can be nimble and it can kind of transform into whatever it needs to be in the time.
Yeah. Pivotable.
Ooh,
That's very
Right?
good.
Pivot and pirouette. That was somebody else said that joke in a rehearsal hall and I loved it. So
Nice.
I've stolen
Nice.
Credit, I don't know who.
Are there any live performances you guys are going to be part of in the Fringe this summer?
We don't really do Fringe for us because we're like really heavy loaded in March. So
okay.
so we just get to enjoy.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Nice.
Nice.
I don't know. Individually, like we have like our own little things going on here and there, but like not as Azimuth, not under the Az hat.
Nice.
But
Are you two, sorry, disembodied voice of Gabby here.
Hello.
Are you two still kind of involved in doing your own things outside of Azimuth? Or
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
You guys are still
Yeah.
performers outside of Azimuth, right?
Yeah, totally. We're both freelancers. So for me, like I work as an actor primarily, and then I'm also a fight director. So I get to like basically build fights for stage, and I also like arts educator, collaborator. Like I just wear a lot of hats. Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, I'm an actor. I'm a singer. I mostly do like acting and singing gigs outside of the admin. And yeah, I also like I'm a writer. I write a lot, although I feel like the pandemic has drained my brain.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know when that's gonna happen again, but one day I'm sure. And yeah, I don't know. I'm always excited to like try something once.
Yeah, definitely.
Like we were like laughing about improv a little while
Yeah.
ago, and like I think it's the scariest thing. Like aside from stand up, I think it's the scariest thing you can do on a stage, and I've only ever done it once, like in an actual like show, and I don't think I can do it again. Because I loved it, but it was a Seinfeld parody. It was a Seinfeld
Love
improv show, and I was playing the Kramer character, but like we like had a formula. It like made sense. We could like work within it, and we can improv, and it would still be funny, but we knew where we were going. Without that, I am nothing. Without that can't happen.
No.
And that seems impossible to me, even though like it happens every day. So pretty much all that is to say, I will try anything once, as if it's theater related. You know, we'll do it. We'll give her.
Yeah, definitely. What kind of things did you guys have to like try as performers yourselves during the pandemic? Like outdoor things, internet things.
Yeah, during the pandemic, I did. I worked with Plain Jane Theatre, wonderful collaborators, and we did a cabaret called Scenes from the Sidewalk.
Ooh.
And it was outside of the Varscona, and so what we did was we set our cabaret up on the sidewalk, and then our audience was behind the glass inside, so that we could sing outside, and then we just kind of had speakers running like through the doors.
Oh, awesome.
So that was like such a gift. That was something that just really like brought me back to life, you know, in terms of like coming out of the pandemic and having something to do. Oh my gosh. That like it changed kind of everything for me. It really filled me up.
Oh yeah. Plus you're learning so much about like even how to run your own equipment in order to make that happen.
Yeah.
Like I loved learning about like a little bit about like photography and just trying to get myself outside.
Yes.
Because it was so hard for me to leave my room and part of me was like, what can I create? And if I can't create something, what can I learn for when I'm ready to start creating, right? What kind of like skills did you guys work on?
Yeah.
Boy, we're gonna be here for like an hour with Morgan.
Right?
skills.
Oh my gosh. And also, like, I know, like, this is the beauty of the space that we're in, is that it's a constant fluctuation, and we are, like, Morgan's gotta talk fast, because we are out of this space soon.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so I think for me, like, I did a thing where I tried to learn a new skill a day for a long time, so I got to kind of, like, stretch my brain in that way, and I always like doing something that scares me, and that year, the past 2 years, I've just been doing like something that scares me every second day.
Oh my gosh.
And I really love learning, and it's a way for me to like kind of like things that I can't control, at least I can control my learning of something.
Yeah.
So I learned like how to code. I learned how to do apps. Like I really love apps. Like so if there's a new AI thing that can automate my life, then that like fills my heart with so much joy. And then I also learned how to do like, I don't know, it was a long list.
Just
I tried to
everything.
learn how to juggle. I learned how to like light, how to like small DOP things, how to edit videos. Like I would just, you know,
You did a ukulele?
I learned how to do ukulele,
Wow.
learned how to play guitar a little bit, learned how to play piano a little bit. Yeah, not well. But at least I can plunk.
Oh, that's all you need. Just a
Right?
plunk.
Plunk.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, how are we doing for time here? Just wanted to check.
You're at about. So, yeah, I don't know if you're happy and comfortable. Just so the folks back home know, disembodied voice of Gabby again. This space is still open. It's still live. So our gracious hosts have been kind enough to let us in, but it is still, of course, an open space. So we're trying to make sure we cover everything with them.
Yeah, we want to
And
be
get out here
respectful of
to
other people's time.
Perfect and reasonable time. So yes, I think we can take it away to kind of wrap up.
I think so. Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for, sharing your stories with us and telling us a little bit about what you do, what you have done. do you guys want to tell us where people can find you and just give us what are the most important things that people should know about Azimuth? Important things that people should know about each of you, and maybe plug the socials in there a little bit.
Ooh.
Yeah.
The important things that I would love for people to take away from Azimuth are that Azimuth is a company that's dedicated to empowering voices that we don't get to hear very often. The work that we try and produce and present, we try to celebrate folks who have been underrepresented in like a bunch of different ways. And so I feel like that is something that we, I'm gonna toot our own horn here, but like when it comes to like talking the talk and walking the walk, we are walking. Like we are sprinting is what it feels like.
Yeah.
And like I if there's anything that someone could take away from this company, it's that we're here to make it better. We just want to make this better. And any support in that is so valuable. And speaking of support, we could use some donations. If anyone has some expendable income, which I know is hard to come by these days, but on our website, azimuththeatre.com, there are multiple ways to donate. Your time, your money, or even just your kind words. We'll take them. We'll take all of it.
Yeah.
Anything else to add about Az?
Well, socials, you can find us at www.azimuththeatre.com. We also have Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, all of that stuff, all that funness is just Azimuth Theatre. We're really easy to find because nobody knows what an azimuth is. So we're set. And then my socials are just Morgan Yamada. If you just look for it, I'm there.
Yeah, mine are Itsuji on most things. And yeah, if you want to book us for some work, our websites are just our names: SueGoberdhan.com, MorganYamada.com.
Nice. Easy.
Awesome. Well, you guys are definitely going to want to check out Azimuth Theatre. You're going to want to check out what these two are doing this summer. You're going to want to check this out because honestly, what better way to get into theater than with two people who are willing and ready to hold your hand and throw you into the deep end, because that's how we learn. All right.
We'll dangle you
Yeah,
above
You
the
have
deep
the
end.
life
We'll
jacket.
still be holding you.
We'll bring snacks. We
There
have
you
orange
go.
slices.
And we'll have insurance.
Yeah.
Very important thing to have. Well, this has been R&G in the 780. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's Gabby here from R&G in the 780. Of course, as always, I am the G in R&G in the 780. I'm excited today to showcase another awesome local Edmonton business and to walk you guys through what's going to happen here. I can't wait. You obviously can probably see the sign behind me because we are at 4-Point Taekwondo. So I'm going to be joined today by none other than Master Kevin Mejia, right? Mejia. All right,
Mejia.
Kevin Mejia. There it is. I'll nail that. Thank you again for joining us today. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Kevin Mejia. I'm the owner of 4-Point Taekwondo. I've been doing Taekwondo since I was 5 years old, and now I'm 32, so quite a while.
Oh, so it's been a hot minute. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a 5th Dan black belt.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, we teach Taekwondo here. I'm one of the head instructors here, and we teach classes for kids as young as 3 and as old as however old they want to come.
Oh, perfect, because I was thinking of getting some basics taught today.
For
That's
sure.
cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. So thank God that there's no limit cap to that. I was going to ask, you said 5 years old.
3 years old.
3 years
well,
old.
I started at 5. Yeah, I started at 5.
What kind of got you started? How did you decide this is what I want to do?
So I have an older brother.
Okay.
He teaches here with us too, actually.
Oh, perfect.
So he was doing Taekwondo already, and I wasn't quite old enough.
Mhm.
The club that I started at years ago, they started taking in kids at only 6.
Okay.
But my brother was there, and I would be on the side watching, and I always wanted to join. And they let me try at 5, and I guess they let me stay.
And they're like,
Yep.
you're in?
Yeah, and actually another big reason was Power Rangers.
Oh, of course.
I wanted to be a Power Ranger, so yeah, I used to go and jump on my aunt's bed and watch TV and pretend I was a Power Ranger, so I got to do it for real once I was 5.
So we have to know which ranger.
Well, there's the Red Ranger, the yellow one though.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean I was the White Ranger one Halloween.
Oh,
That
nice.
was pretty cool. So I have a
that's
pretty
a-
cool picture of that. But
Okay.
I don't know. Not sure exactly. Probably the White Ranger.
The White Ranger was
White
definitely
Ranger.
the one? Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's a great, because every time we kind of interview individuals, I'm just like so curious as to what gets you kind of started and going. Now, I know you got started at the age of 5, but what kind of propelled you to keep going and to not just, because as you know, when you're young, you go and you enjoy something, you try it out a few times, then you're like, and you move on to something else. But what kept you kind of going for so long?
Yeah, so it was that age from like 5 to 11. It was just completely recreational.
Mm-hmm.
It was just something that my parents put me in, and I just kind of stuck to. I would say I didn't really fall in love with it until about 12-ish, when I was starting to do a lot more competitions.
Okay.
And that's the part that really got me hooked, is the tournaments, the competitions. And so I started I guess like a red belt, really started to go to every local competition.
Okay.
And then from there it kept on just going on, and it was one of those things where it was like, okay, as soon as you get old enough that you're high enough belt that you're allowed to do head contact and kick each other in the face.
Oh,
my mom said no.
Oh.
But then I just kept on going, and then next thing you know, I'm fighting on the other side of the world, getting kicked in the face. So yeah, it was the competitions for me definitely that made me fall in love with Taekwondo.
Okay, so you said that you got in when you were a red belt. Can you explain the kind of rank system?
Yeah.
How it progresses?
For sure. So everyone starts off as a white belt.
Okay.
We start off as a white belt as a beginner. And then there's quite a few belts along the way. So after white belt, there's a yellow stripe, which is a white belt with a yellow stripe down the middle.
Okay.
Then you go into a full yellow belt, and then we have a green stripe, green belt, blue stripe, blue belt, red stripe, red belt, black stripe, and then black belt.
Okay.
And then once you're a black belt, then there's different degrees of black belt.
And you, just to remind the audience here, you said you're a
Fifth, yes.
Dan.
Yeah.
How does that structure, unless it's trade secret, how does that structure kind of begin? And do you have to go through the entire cycle all over again, kind of for each black belt progression, I'd assume? Or?
Yeah, so once you do get your black belt, your first Dan black belt,
Mm-hmm.
the requirements are basically everything that you had to test for as a white belt till that black belt spot. So there's a lot to memorize. And then it's also on the club. So each club is going to be a little bit different, and what they want to test you on, challenge you on, or really have those certain goals set for you to achieve like a higher ranking of black belt.
Okay.
So each test is a little different. Each goal is slightly different. And I've also had the opportunity of training at different Taekwondo schools throughout the years before opening my own. So you get a little bit of everything.
A little taste of everything?
Yeah.
So then I'd be remiss, because we got your contact information from a dear friend of ours, Mr. Darren Ta, who is now going around the world doing stunt fighting and kind of stunts. But I am curious to know, because I think he also got his black belt. Is that how the two of you met? Was through training school? Did you guys train together? One of you teach the other?
No, so he went to a different school. I know he went to Elite Taekwondo.
That's right.
But I don't even think I've actually met him face to face and actually talked to him. It's just It's a small community. Everyone kind of knows each other.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple years that I stepped away and I wasn't involved, and I know he was competing, and that's when I was away. But you hear of each other's names. We must have crossed paths at one point, but I don't think I've had a formal introduction to him.
I wonder if you guys took each other down in a competition. Cool. So competing, I'm just going to share a little bit here, but in a past life, way long ago, Gabby used to do Kung Fu. So I definitely can feel for everything that's being said here. I don't think I ever made it quite as far, of course, as you have. But one of the first things I remember kind of going to my first competition was I was nervous, and I was like, look, I'm either going to get gold or silver, and I'm getting nothing below that because that's my first competition. I wanted to start off like heavy and hard. How was your first kind of experience, and how did you deal with kind of like the nerves to go out there? Now I assume like there's also forms.
Yeah.
There's sparring, of course. You mentioned full contact. For you, I think that forms was kind of the first one you got into.
Yes.
Or was it sparring?
Well, we do both in a tournament. So
Okay.
they do forms and sparring. But I remember my first tournament, I was maybe 6 years old. Actually, yeah, I was 6. I don't remember it well.
Mhm.
I remember 6-year-old, a white belt, maybe 5. I remember sitting around and waiting forever.
Mhm.
And I remember doing my form maybe. I don't know if I won or not, but I remember doing the sparring part and I got my butt kicked.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's it's one of those things that you're always going to be nervous for, no matter how long you do it for. Even in the span that I was competing a lot, I would be competing at an international tournament, and then if I was fighting at a local event, I would still get nervous.
Oh.
The nerves were kind of different.
Mhm.
The nerves were different, but it's always there.
Okay.
Yeah.
You did mention, and I do want to say to our wonderful audience, because we do some research here in RNG, I noticed that you did quite a few competitions. In fact, one of them was the U.S. men's
Yeah, the U.S. Open.
Open. Yeah.
Yeah.
How was that? How was it? What was it like kind of competing for Canada at such a level?
Yeah, so that one, I think that was probably my first international event, and I was 15 or 16 around that time. It was in the junior division, and the U.S. Open is actually, it used to be the world's biggest tournament, but I think there's a couple in Europe that have surpassed it, but it's definitely the biggest in North America. And yeah, the level at that competition is crazy. You see some people that are, so that was 06, 2 years later, we're in the Olympics. Actually, I had someone in my division. At that tournament, I got bronze, and the person at silver was actually at the Beijing Olympics 2 years later.
Wow.
So the level was pretty high. So my first go at it, I was surprised actually I got bronze. Yeah, I remember my first match too. I drew one of the powerhouses of Taekwondo at the time, Chinese Taipei.
Oh wow.
And it was close, but I won, and I think that gave me so much confidence to get further and further. And then I ended up losing to Mexico in the semifinals.
That's still like bronze at that level. Like even like you describing the caliber that one of them went on to go onto the Beijing Olympics is intense. I don't think anyone can remotely kind of hold their head in shame that even competing at that level, let alone placing and even getting bronze for it as well. So that I would have been so nervous. Yeah, for like these tournaments and everything, do you find that, actually let's talk about 4 points Taekwondo
Sure.
first before I ask more of these questions.
Yeah.
How did you come to kind of forming 4 points Taekwondo, and why 4 points?
Okay, so we'll go with the name first.
Sure.
There's two versions of it. There's the truth, and then there's the one that we tell everyone.
Tell us both. Yeah.
So the truth is, when we started the club, we wanted to pick a name that wasn't already used. And with Taekwondo clubs and martial arts, they like to use like animals or dragons and stuff like that. And I really didn't want to go down that route.
Okay.
So we tried to think of something else. And at the time, the rule for in sparring, the rule for the highest points would be a spinning kick to someone's head.
Okay.
And it was 4 points.
Ah.
But we knew that the rules were going to change.
Oh no.
So, and it's now 5, and we knew this was going to happen. So what we did is we have a backstory of what 4 points mean.
Okay.
And we have 4 pillars that we, that we kind of live by and teach by, and they're still very true. It's performance, progress, perseverance, and passion.
Nice.
So those are our 4 pillars. But the truth was, it was a cooler name because you kick someone in the face and get 4 points.
So there isn't like somewhere out there at 5 points Taekwondo that's just like, haha, we got it after the change at all?
Not yet.
Not yet? Okay,
yet.
cool.
Yeah.
Don't you dare. But I noticed that, yeah, like 4 points, but also 4 Ps. Was
Yes,
that also?
4 pillars, 4
Okay.
Ps. Yep.
Nice. That's and then how did you come to form 4 points? Because you said that you kind of trained at various different. Is it safe to call them dojos? Or is it
Yeah. So the Korean term for Taekwondo would be dojang.
dojang?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yep.
training at different dojangs. You of course formed 4 points. How did that come to be?
Yeah. So I was at a different club, and then things just weren't working out. So I left. I took a couple years off of Taekwondo. And actually, it was about a year and a half that I took off of Taekwondo, and then that time I just graduated from the personal training program at NATE.
Okay.
And then so I was running personal training sessions, and that was really fun. And I really enjoyed, especially the clientele. They were a little older than what I work with now. They were people that I was learning so much off of. But I missed Taekwondo. There was times that I kind of popped into tournaments just to see what's going on, and I missed it. And then I took a chance. We started at a community hall just down the street from here. We rented it out two times a week, and then myself, and then we have another instructor that I trained with before and taught with before we got together and started a club, and then now the other instructor is actually my older brother.
Oh wow!
So yeah,
Nice.
he's still around. So that's kind of how it started. The kind of atmosphere and stuff that we really wanted to build was the same team and family atmosphere that we had as a sparring team.
Okay.
So usually during the weekdays we used to train from 6 to 9 p.m. And afterwards we would sit around and we would talk and we'd hang out until like 10:30.
Of course, yeah.
Because we were friends. We were friends and also teammates. And then on Saturday, same thing. We would be finished training at 1 o'clock, and then we'd hang out with each other until night. And then that's kind of how it was. So it was really much of like a family kind of atmosphere. And so we wanted to bring that together in a club, even at the recreation level.
Okay.
One of the formulas we always talk about is like with kids, if they train more, they tend to get better, right? But if it's not fun, they don't do it. So we try to even take away the aspect of trying to get them to train hard and train more. If it's fun, they'll be here, and the more they're here, the better they'll be. And there's obviously other benefits that have come out through that, but it was friends that were that got so much out of it, and we wanted to bring it together and kind of share that with everyone else.
Okay, so speaking of kind of having friends, how the family atmosphere, how important was it to the foundation of 4 points to be kind of part of the community? I assume that you take part in kind of local community events.
Yep.
Because it sounds like family is at the heart of everything. Is that
exactly.
fair to say?
Yeah,
Okay.
That's everything for us. Anyways, it just makes it such a relaxed environment. Everyone knows everyone. When you go to tournaments, people give other children a ride, or other kids that are not part of their immediate family.
Oh wow, okay.
There's quite a few kids here that have met here and they've stayed friends, and their parents. So that's something we try to really push.
Perfect. No, I'm just wondering and curious because learning martial art is one thing, but teaching it is a whole nother ordeal.
Yeah.
Did you find that it came to you easier? Like you mentioned that kind of in your kind of personal training, you dealt with older clientele.
Yeah.
Was it a huge shift to go from that to instructing kids? Were kids easier to teach? How did that kind of come to be, and how was that going for you?
For sure,
How'd it
yeah.
gone for you?
Yeah, it's I didn't just start teaching Taekwondo here.
Okay.
At the other clubs that I was at, I was teaching, and actually that was my job throughout post-secondary and maybe even a little bit through high school.
Oh,
So I
okay.
do have the experience there. And then as you kind of come up through the ranks, you end up kind of assisting with some of the beginners and stuff. So it's something that, you know, we even here try to start to mold into their curriculum. That way they kind of have that leadership role. So that's kind of how it was. And I a lot of it I put to how I was brought up. Me and my brother are the oldest of a handful of cousins. And the gap between us is quite a bit. So between me and my next oldest cousin. So my cousin that's closest to me, I think he's 6 years younger than me.
Oh wow.
So I remember him being born, and then, you know, you kind of take that responsibility being the older cousin, and then there was a ton of them. So I was used to working with kids, and then it was just how to do it, you know, in a class setting.
Okay.
But I think the big thing is when you work with kids, you have to enjoy it, because if not, it's it could be bad.
It could be, yeah, it can strain for sure.
Yeah,
that's interesting that gap is there between you, because like my family wise, like me and my brother about 4 years apart, and my youngest brother were actually 10 years apart. So I always find it like it's very bizarre to kind of be kind of 10 years ahead of him and see him kind of grow up, and then you're kind of like taking care of them, but by nature it happens. So when it came to, like you said, teaching and helping out, it just came secondhand. But I know for a lot of instructors, it doesn't come kind of secondhand. I know that I will speak for Darren and a few of the boys that they love the art. They absolutely cannot stand teaching it, and they always feel like they're doing something wrong or that they shouldn't be teaching. Did that ever kind of come up as you were, like, did you ever feel like, should I be teaching this? Am I qualified to teach it? Like that kind of doubt ever?
Maybe when I was younger,
Okay.
for sure. Because I think, when you're younger, you're just a little more insecure about what you know and what you do. But luckily it progressed so slowly that it didn't seem like, oh, I'm way out of my league trying to coach here or teach this. So fortunately for me, it didn't really seem that way.
Perfect is all good.
Yeah.
Awesome. No, that's always wonderful to hear. And of course, having been in it for so long, I would assume that you still have a joy for it.
Oh, yeah.
And you're comfortable with it, because otherwise, wow. If I could ask about kind of teaching, and so I often ask this to a lot of places, but if you had to pick kind of one pillar to pass on to your students, knowing full well, like, I don't know, like you're never going to see them again or something, but like if you had to pass on one pillar, what would be the most important or biggest lesson that you want them to walk away with?
Ooh,
Yeah, that's right.
that's a good question.
We ask interesting questions here. Yeah, keep you on your toes.
I would say perseverance.
Oh, okay.
Perseverance. So, it's the one thing that we've started here is because the kids always ask the question, how long did it take to get your black belt? Right?
See, I avoided
And,
that one because I know about that one.
And what we always say now is we don't tell them how many years. We always say now, it doesn't matter, you just finish what you start.
Oh.
And that's
okay.
that's how we answer it now. Because, and then kids also, they try to be like, oh, I'll be 12 when this happens. I'll be 18 when this happens. So we try not to say that, but perseverance for sure, if you could pass it on, because this is a very comfortable, safe space for them to have to learn how to jump over hurdles, to climb over, little obstacles that are on the way. Because we will have to do it all the time. And I think it's great for kids to have a challenge and continue pushing through and persevering through whatever life throws at them.
Okay. Is it? I know that you had kind of mentioned when you started into your journey that you liked it, or kind of didn't so much like it, and you grew to enjoy it. Do you often find that when you have new students that some are very much here because they have to be here because mom and dad are like, you're doing an activity and you have to go through it, and do you kind of encourage parents to do that or not do that?
Yeah, so you see it all the time.
Okay.
Right? You see kids all the time that they come in and they are here because mom paid for it or dad paid for it. And that's where we have to make sure there's that balance of it's not just work when they're here. It has to be fun. Okay. Because if I tried to, or if, you know, or if the kids are here to learn a lesson, or here to learn something other than punching and kicking, I can't get to them if they're not in here.
That's right.
Right. So it has to be fun, and yeah, that's always a challenge. Parenting styles are different. The messages coming out of their parents' mouths are all different, and you have to try to find that balance of what, you know, what's the right fit for kids. But yeah, the big thing is kids gotta have fun, or else they're not gonna get anything. They're not gonna get anything out of it. Yeah.
Of course. Now, do new students have to eventually compete, or can they follow a route where they don't have to be in competition? Say if they're kind of shy, nervous, or kind of have like social anxiety, is that incorporated into going from belt to belt, or can they strictly come here, train, and not compete?
Yeah. So in our Taekwondo community, it might surprise people because we are the club that does a lot of competitions and does a lot of travel, but we have some kids that do not do sparring at all.
Okay.
It's part of our curriculum, like the sparring techniques, but they don't necessarily need to do sparring. It is totally up to them. We obviously really encourage it because we feel like there's a lot of lessons to be learned through sparring and competitions, but I'm also aware it's not for everyone. So yeah, surprisingly, not everyone does sparring. It's something we encourage, but not everyone gets to it.
I wanted to kind of touch up on that because I will say the very first time I sparred and lost, it was a big lesson. It's like you almost know what to do when you're winning, but when you lose, what do? And then you're kind of disheartened. Coming back was kind of difficult because you're like, I wanted to win the gold and I didn't even place. And you always kind of have that kind of worry and anxiety. Do you find that for the students that compete, that there's like, they build up a new level of self-confidence about themselves, and like they learn through, of course, I don't want to say losing, but through participating, bigger and better things? Do you see those changes in them?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I think the word losing is completely fine to use, as long as there's that lesson behind it, right? As long as there's a lesson behind it. Losing in the sense of the match, but not losing in the sense of, you know, that they showed bad character or anything like that. Actually yesterday we had a promotion test.
Oh, nice.
So some kids earned their higher belt, and it is nice to see them go through their board immediately the first time, because then as an instructor you feel like, okay, I taught them well, they did it well. But we had some kids that historically go through it no problem, then they struggled, and there still is like positives through that, because I saw this certain individual not quit, where usually he was a kid that just does everything like this.
Yes.
So yeah, the struggle is so important especially for younger kids growing up.
Would you say that's where you saw the perseverance come through? Going back to that point?
Yes, for sure.
Wonderful.
Yep, we had some tears.
Oh.
We had some tears.
Okay.
We had some, we had some doubt, but in the end, he had a little chat and he talked himself through it, and then he went through and he broke his board, no problems.
That's got to be a huge, like, I want to say, proud parent kind of moment.
Yeah.
And I imagine that that there's probably an awarding ceremony.
Yep.
That happens. Does that, like, how proud are you every time you're administering kind of a new rank, new belt, to see that the student not only has dedicated the time to do this, but has progressed, and you kind of get to watch them grow up as well, as a person and as a practitioner?
Yeah. So again, being like that family environment, I try to really know each student and not just know them by a name. Or I know at other places they like to put their names on their collar, which I refuse to do that here, because I want them to actually know who they are.
Okay.
So to actually see them, to see them struggle or to see them grow up is awesome. And in a little bit, you'll see one of our students here that I've known since he was 3.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he'll be with us in a second, but it's cool to see him grow up from, the little 3-year-old that didn't speak English
Oh.
to, now someone that I'm traveling with doing competitions and stuff.
No, that's no problem.
So-
Don't worry about not speaking English. I didn't do it either, and I learned, and here we are doing interviews. So it happens. Everything step by step. I do have to ask this question, and I know that it's usually a difficult one to answer, but obviously many of the businesses we visited were severely kind of impacted by the pandemic. Many still are. It's bizarre because in every interview I'm like, we're in a post-pandemic, but I can't even call it that because it's still ongoing, so I don't know what we're doing. How has the pandemic obviously affected you? I know that I can imagine tournaments weren't a thing.
Yep.
I don't know if you could even gather here to train. Did you adapt a method to train? What were kind of the changes and hurdles that you overcame to obviously still be here?
Yeah, so it was brutal.
Well,
It was brutal. At the very beginning, just anyone that we had, any one of our members that had memberships or anything like that, when everyone started first getting laid off, I allowed anyone to pull out of their contract or anything like that.
Okay.
Just because I knew that these guys had kids. We had mostly a children's program, and they had kids and they had mouths to feed. So if they had to pull their memberships, I put out there and I said, feel free, send me an email. I don't mind at all. Okay. I'm not going to fight you over it.
No, of course.
And so because of that, we lost about 70% of our members.
Oh, wow.
So there was a big climb to come back to this point. We still had a good handful of members that still made payments, as there were still things for owners to pay for.
Mm-hmm.
But that first little bit was pretty painful.
I can only imagine.
Luckily, I do other work, and that actually brought me a lot of comfort that I could do work elsewhere, and still keep this alive.
Okay.
So yeah, that happened, and with all the closures, and we went online immediately. But just like in normal times, you have a bit of a drop-off rate of students, and that drop-off rate increases when you're online for sure.
Course, yeah.
And then our switches to outdoor, and then we were inside for a little bit, and we were only allowed to do one-on-ones for a while,
no.
and then only small groups, and then we ran into scheduling issues and stuff. So it was a lot of hoops to jump through, and in my mind, my goal with 4 Point was just to survive. Just get through this. Because, I remember at one point it was December, right before Christmas, and I was sitting down and really thinking and looking at the numbers, and it made sense to shut down.
Okay.
My brain told me I should shut down, but it was like my heart that said, no, we got to keep doing something.
Okay.
Because at that point it was not financially worth it at all.
No, that's very interesting you bring that up, because of the businesses that we've done prior, a lot of them said the same thing.
Yeah.
A lot of them said that looking at the paperwork financially, they were like,
Doesn't
from a
make
business
sense.
perspective, close it down.
Yeah.
But all of them repeated the same thing. They're like, in my heart and mind, I couldn't come to do it.
Yeah.
Because, obviously, I love this place. It's kind of like my life's work. They wanted to be engaged in the community still and be a part of it. But it was a huge obstacle. So the reason that we kind of go around and we're trying to highlight all of these businesses is because in this kind of post-pandemic, I want to call it that, is to kind of bring back a sense of normalcy for clientele, bring back the fact that they're still open and still going. It was unfortunate because so many businesses we contacted to talk to said that the pandemic forced them to close their doors for good. And I'm very happy and thrilled that that was not the case here. I'm very happy and thrilled that perseverance was actually the
There
key
you go.
motivator to keep it going and keep it happening. But we've done a lot of talk. I feel like we've covered a lot about 4 Points. And I'm sure you people at home would like to see some demos. Is that what's
For
gonna
sure,
happen
yeah,
first?
we can go through some basic kicks, and I think you're gonna learn some.
Oh, sweet! All right,
And
interactive.
I got a board for you to break too.
Oh, that's here first. See it here first. Awesome. And who do we have here today?
So this is Titus.
Hi, Titus. How's it going?
How are you?
Good to meet you.
So Titus, I started teaching him around 3-ish. around there.
Okay.
And then throughout the years he kind of he was at another school, and then he kind of came here as he started getting a little more competitive.
Okay.
And about a month ago, we just got back from our first tournament in about 2 years.
Oh wow.
So we just came back from Toronto, and we had our nationals, our Canadian nationals.
Wow. All in Toronto.
Yeah. So
awesome.
it's we frequent Toronto, Quebec, and Montreal and stuff like that. But he came out with a silver medal.
Oh, nice.
So
Congrats. Well done.
we're really proud, especially after the last 2 years not having anyone to really, not many people to train with, not many competitions, a lot of training in his basement. But he got a silver medal at nationals, so I was pretty proud about that.
And so how was that experience for you to kind of go to Toronto? I always thought that, like, I don't think I ever competed outside of Alberta, but to go to a whole nother province and compete, run us through kind of what was it like, mentally, physically, everything?
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing Taekwondo since I was 3. You know, I always loved it. And then I always, in my mind, I wanted to win nationals to qualify for Team Canada.
Nice.
And that was actually also kind of my dad's dream. And it kind of emerged into my dream. And I know I was always telling myself, you know, I'm going to do this. This is finally the year to get that goal. And, you know, physically I was ready. I cut a lot of weight for this tournament. And then it was just a very nice experience just to, like, you know, my dad recorded everything.
Oh.
You know, it's just like, oh, we're in the airplane now. We're at the hotel. And even at the hotel, I was cutting weight still. Wow. Yeah, and then, you know, the day came and I was feeling ready. I felt like my mind was sharp. My actions were sharp. And then, unfortunately, in the final, you know, things happened. But I was really disappointed. But after a while, after recovering, I was like, you know, it's still, I should be really proud of myself.
No, and you definitely should. Yeah. Silver in a competition outside the province, not on your home turf, is always impressive. And it's also more impressive that you're you know cutting weight and everything. I know, I can tell you, during the pandemic that didn't happen for me. So it's always good that, like, you were focused. You even focused when you arrived there, because so many individuals I know, like, as soon as they're there, they're like, well, throwing it to the wind. But you stayed on point. You're right about mind focus. It sounded like you were sharp. And I have to imagine that you and your competitor were both at the apex, and then things just happened that went from silver gold, right? But that's so impressive to see. How often do you guys go out of province for tournaments? You said a few times.
Well, it now is totally different.
Okay.
Our next trip is to Las Vegas in July.
Oh wow.
But usually, maybe 3 or 4 trips outside of the province a year. It could be more.
Oh wow.
But obviously school gets in the way.
I imagine that's important. Yeah, no.
So there is opportunity for more, but maybe like 3 or 4 trips. So he's kind of at the age now where he can fight juniors, so and with the adults. So there would be opportunity for a little bit more, but tournaments are a little scarce lately.
Wow. Yes.
Yeah.
Imagine with a certain thing going around.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. And what were you guys going to show us?
Yeah. So let's go through some basic kicks. So
Nice.
what I'll do is I'll get Titus to demonstrate them.
Okay.
And then how long did you do Kung Fu for?
We'll do the demonstration first,
Yeah.
and then you can probably tell me.
Okay, so then you'll do some of them too.
Okay.
And then we'll go through a kick that you're gonna do, and you're gonna break some of those big boards over there.
Yeah.
They're pretty thick, but
Okay.
we've had a 4-year-old break them before, so you got this.
Well, the bar's been set. I have to defeat a 4-year-old at doing this. So you heard it here first, folks.
All right, so let me
Perfect.
grab these targets here. Okay, so first thing, Gabby, I'll just get you stand over on that side. And then first thing is we're going to do is just the most basic kick that you'll almost learn in any martial art that you do a kick. So you're going to have your hands up, and we're going to do a front snap kick. So Titus is going to bend his knee first. He's going to kick it with the ball of his foot, then he's going to bring it back. So it's a little bit of a pushing motion. There you go, and then he's going to go back and then do the other side. 2, go ahead, give me 10. And 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, let's see it.
All right.
Okay,
I'm
make
just
sure you
gonna
get that knee up first.
little stretches here. Oh, geez, pressure's on. I can tell you.
1, there we go. 2. Let's try the other side too. Alternate feet. Okay. And the right side. 3. Good. 4. 5. Good. Try to kick with the bottom of your foot. 6. The ball of your foot.
Ball.
Yep. And 7. Good. 8. 2 more. 9. And 10. Good stuff. All right. Let's try the next one. So we're gonna try a roundhouse kick. This is the one where your knee's coming up still. That's like one common thing when it comes to kicking. Make sure your bottom foot's gonna pivot and your knee's gonna come up nice and high.
Okay.
Okay, and then you're
important not to
exactly
go up on your.
Well,
heel.
you can go up on your toes, just not too far.
Okay.
And then the big thing would be that pivot in that bottom foot.
Okay.
Okay. So your knee's coming across, and we're gonna hit with the top of the foot. And 1, 2. Just give me 5. 3, 4. 5. All right, let's see it. So that knee has to come across. Ready?
Knee across, hey?
And go for it. 1. Nice. You've done this before. 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right. Okay, next one. Next kick we're gonna do is with the top of your foot, or sorry, with the bottom of your heel. So just throw it like a cut. He's gonna lift his knee up, and basically this one is gonna be different because we're not hitting from the side. This is more of a pushing motion.
Okay.
And then this one we want to make sure we're striking with our heel because this kick you're gonna do to break a board.
Oh, sweet.
All right, and then maybe we'll get Titus to do something cool. Okay, ready? And side kick and go. 1, good. 2, 3, 2 more. 4, 1 more. 5. All right, let's see.
Oh, okay.
You're a righty or a lefty?
I think I'm this foot.
All right. Okay, so
Mine.
knee up and just like a big stomp to the side.
Okay.
1, there you go. 2, yes, your heel. 3, 4, 5. There you go. Yeah, nice job. All right, let's try with the other side. Ready? Left side and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Ready? And knee up. 1. Good stuff. 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice job. All right. Let's try to throw some combinations.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's go with that front leg. You're gonna do that side kick, and then you're gonna do the other foot. Let's do a roundhouse kick.
Okay.
Okay. So we're going front leg side kick and the other side roundhouse kick. Ready?
Of course.
And go. Yeah. You can do that fast too, right?
Yes, of course.
Good. Yeah. 3. 1 more. 4. Okay.
All right.
Ready? Nice big push first, and 1 kick at a time. 1, and then nice stop. Nice. Now face this way, and then let's push with your left foot this time.
Okay.
And good. And 2 more.
Okay.
And nice strong push. Good. Good stuff. Last one. Nice work. Oh, nice kicks.
Oh.
So how long did you do Kung Fu for?
A few years.
Few years. Okay. Looks good. All right. Want to try something a little harder?
Sure.
Did you learn how to do a back kick back in the day?
No.
All right. Let's see a back kick. So this one is you're turning the opposite way of your roundhouse kick.
Okay.
Okay. So break it down. So first thing, we'll break it into steps like I'll do it for the kids. So first thing you want to do is let's take those toes and let's point them in the opposite direction. All right, you're going to look over your back shoulder. So in this case, it's his right shoulder. He's going to lift his right knee up and he's going to push out with his heel. There you go. And let's do the other side. So first thing, he's going to turn, look over his shoulder, lift his knee up, and then back kick. And then go ahead, just do it normally. Yeah. And the other side, 2. Okay, and 1 more. 3. There you go. All right, so let's break it down into steps first. So
Sweet.
first thing, toes towards the back, look over your right shoulder, and right foot back in. There we go.
Okay.
All right, and let's try the other side. So switch your feet, and let's look over the left shoulder, and good. All right, try it again. 2 more, and go. Nice. 1 more, and go. Good.
Okay.
All right, so that's pretty much like as a white belt or beginner, those are some of the base kicks that you would learn.
Okay.
And then obviously we would just add on to it or just giving it a different variety. So you can vary it by either jumping or adding an extra spin or something like that. So what I'll do is I'll get Titus to demonstrate some of the harder kicks, or we'll throw them in combinations and stuff. And if you want to step in, just let me know.
Okay.
See, let's see a round double 360. Just that way. Okay, and go. Yeah. And want to try that one? Not yet?
Yes,
Yeah,
sure.
one more time. Just do it one more time so we can see. And down. See, those are all roundhouse kicks. Got that? No?
I think we'll try it and we'll see. So this is how it's supposed to be done. Then we'll give you a
Instagram versus reality.
So let's do it once more,
Okay.
and I'll try to watch.
So, roundhouse kick, and then you're gonna jump and hit it twice, and then you're gonna spin backwards like your back kick, but it's gonna be a roundhouse kick.
All right, moment of truth here. So it starts off
With the regular roundhouse kick. Good, and you're gonna jump. Yeah, now spin over your back shoulder, and nice, nice work. Not bad, not bad.
Thank you.
All right, you want to break those boards?
Yes.
All right,
Let's do it.
There we go. So it's
Can we-
not a prop.
Oh my god. This So you said a 4-year-old did this?
Yeah, so actually we had a 4-year-old that was like just very naturally snappy and strong, and with his side kick he could kick in a straight line, and during class it's like, I bet you could break one of the big boards. It's mostly his technique, and he's just naturally snappy. And I was like, you know what, let's give it a try just so I could say a 4-year-old could break it, and he did. So a 4-year-old could break it.
They broke this. Like well, I can't go home until I break it, folks, so that's what we're gonna do.
Okay, so we'll go through with the targets first, all right? So it's that same side kick,
Okay.
where you lift it up and you push with your heel. So did you figure out which one your dominant side was?
I think this is my stronger, so it's
Okay,
one,
so yeah,
two.
we'll go this way, so we don't need to do any rotation.
Okay.
And then what I'll do is I'll get you to move your trailing foot towards the front one, and then from there you're gonna lift it up, and then you're gonna do a nice strong push. Yep.
One.
There you go. Okay. Try to turn those hips a little more so we can hit with your heel. One more time. There we go. Okay, so big thing is with the board, it's you can do the kick on the target. The challenge is as soon as I put that board in front of you, doubt fills in, right? You get the nerves, you get the doubt, you start telling yourself, oh man, that's a big board. Am I reading
No,
your
none
mind
of
right
these.
now?
None of
No?
these are coming through at all. Oh god.
And that is really the exercise of breaking the board. It's not doing the kick. You do the kick pretty well.
Okay.
It's just confidence. So what I want you to do is I want you to face the board. Take your time. Don't kick until you're ready.
Okay.
Positive talk. Once you kick.
4-year-old.
4-year-old. Yeah, I could
4-year-old.
destroy the 4. I mean, no, don't say that.
This is what I'm training for.
Okay. One thing is in Taekwondo that we do a lot that everyone sees is there's yelling.
Okay.
And stuff. And I don't know if you did it in Kung Fu.
Yes, we did, of course.
Yeah. So when you kick, let's let all that fear out, all that tension, and let's hear a nice loud yell.
All that anger. Is there a yell you guys think there-
Whatever comes natural.
Just,
So
ah!
yeah,
All right, cool.
So
That's,
like a gorilla.
That's what
whatever.
we'll do. That's what
Yeah.
we'll do. All right.
Whatever comes natural. All right. Make sure it's with your heel. Turn and only kick when you're ready, and not my fingers.
Oh, God. That's another thing. All right, now the doubt's in. Gotta do it first try. Remember, 4-year-old.
Good. Don't slow down. Don't pause. Just go for it. Good. Okay, right in the center. Those are my fingers.
Sorry.
All right.
Come on.
Good stuff.
Yes!
Nice work.
Thank you.
Nice
That's,
work. And here you go. You can put that on eBay.
Yes! I did it. Third try, but it happened. Did the
it
4-year-old
was-
get it on the first try?
No, he didn't, but we don't need to talk about it.
Oh, sweet! So take that, 4-year-old! I don't know.
His name is William.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you, William. I'm very proud of you. Good job on breaking this board. That was actually tough. I don't know why I thought I'd get it on the first try, but it definitely didn't happen.
Yeah. So how did you feel? Like was there a little bit of nerves?
There was.
Yeah.
And also you mentioned your fingers, and I
Okay,
got more
yeah.
nervous.
Okay.
And I was
sorry.
like, please no. And then when you're like, those are my fingers, and I was like, God, this sucks. But I think as soon as I heard it crack,
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
that's awesome. That
It-
was exhilarating, actually. Feel a bit more accomplished. Do you guys break boards?
Yes.
Can we-
Titus
Oh.
is gonna break some boards. So
Yes.
we're gonna do what do you want to do? Just do a regular like one back. Want to break a regular one, and then we got some other ones that we could do with some fancy kicks. All right, what are you gonna do? Just a regular side kick, or a side kick, whatever. Back kick. Okay, ready? When you're ready. Good stuff. All right, and then want a 360 the top off?
Top off.
Okay, then just a regular 360. So let's go this way so you don't get hit by a board. You want to be a lefty? Okay, I'll go this side. All right, when you're ready. So you jump, and he's gonna spin in the air. He's gonna do that 360 roundhouse kick. 360? Yeah, you want to do 360 or spin hook? Spin? Okay, spin hook kick. Good stuff. Nice job. One more. One more. It's up to you. 360? 360, lefty or righty? Lefty? All right. Good stuff. So yeah, bunch of stuff that you can do to break the boards. You can throw them in combinations. And yeah, he's been doing this since he was 3. You still get a little nervous when you see the board in front of you?
A bit. Not a lot anymore, but just a bit.
It's something you always, sometimes I break them. As soon as you put a board in front, you get a little nervous, but
Still to this day?
Yeah, I broke one yesterday just because there was a board that the kids were having a hard time breaking, and the parents
so
I bet you can't break. And I was like, all right.
So of course you had to go, no, it's mind over matter.
Yeah, but I still get nervous when I see a board. Same as when I sit down in the chair to coach. I get more nervous coaching than I do at an event than I did sparring.
Okay. Just
not having that control of what's going to happen, and I don't want to see them get hurt, but that's a risk.
So then some trailing questions.
Yep.
Do you still compete and participate in the tournaments?
Not anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, not anymore. Not anymore. It's been a couple years since I competed, and now my focus is just with training.
Okay.
But through COVID and the loss of numbers and stuff, the one thing that was kind of forced to is I'm his sparring partner now. So I'm back moving a little more than I was, and I'm actually in the ring with them a little more.
Okay.
But that's the extent of my sparring now.
That's the extent of the competition?
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
It's more raising what I want to call the new gen.
Exactly. That is it.
To kind of take over. So I noticed black belt. At what point how does Titus then become a master instructor like yourself? How does that process happen?
So the master rank, I guess, some people say like a fourth degree would be like a junior master, and then a fifth would be a master.
Okay.
There's some age requirements there. So I think he maxes out on the age where he can't rank further for a little bit.
Okay.
So there's some age requirements there to be a master. But when it comes to instructing, what we've started doing was we have them help out at a very kind of grassroots level. If there is some interest in there, and they just kind of help hold the targets with the kids. And the big thing that I try to get the kids to start off learning how to do is to speak positively. Tell a kid they did a good job if they did. Give them a high five. Give them a correction. If they do that or they attempt it, give them that positive feedback.
Okay.
And that's kind of how we kind of tear it off, and that's the very base that we start. So we have some green belts that actually have started helping with some of the little guys, and they're in here helping and they're assisting. And the beautiful part about Taekwondo is that it's a lot of it's the kicking, the punching, the sparring, the forms, but you can take a different avenue, and which way you want to really, take the martial arts. So some people decide that they want to be a referee.
Okay.
I decided to do the sparring route, and now coaching as a sparring coach. Some people do the forms, and I know people that travel just to do forms, and people coach it, and some people love to teach. So that's the cool part about it, is you can reach other ways. And you're talking like Darren, he decided to do the tricking.
Yes.
And I know quite a few people out in Toronto that are stunt doubles, and that's where they've taken their Taekwondo journey. So it's a pretty cool thing that you can expand on depending on where you want to take it.
No, it's impressive. Like, I would never have opened my mind to the idea that it can be applied to so many practices. Like, I know we mentioned Darren a lot because I'm trying to get him on this program, him and his team. But yeah, that was an interesting thing that I feel like similar journeys. He kind of went into personal training, did all Taekwondo, and then decided I'm going to do it for film and make it look legit for film. And I think it definitely helped having a martial arts background, of course. One of the things I kind of wanted to touch upon, and this was a huge deal when I was kind of going training, was our instructors were very, very adamant about if you ever had to use these techniques in real life, it better have been a life and death situation. Otherwise, I'm coming after you if it was for a show-offy or kind of flair situation. Is that kind of one of the pillar basics here, that this isn't for bullying and kind of taking kind of like a power advantage? This is for defending yourself and protecting yourself?
Of course, yeah. And when it comes to like bullying and you know, kids without confidence, I think in all martial arts schools, we tend to get the ones that have already experienced bullying, have experienced bullying, or you know, have just really been around it. So the big thing that we push is teaching them how to be kind to one another, how to be a leader, and other things that we do where you might not think will apply into a case where you won't be bullying. Was like when we practice our basic punches and we yell loud, that teaching them the confidence to even shout and use their voice will go a lot further than punch or just doing it while I punch because my instructor told me to. And same as like when you do it at a promotion test, you're standing in the front, everyone's watching you, and if you don't know any better, it looks kind of silly standing there and punching and yelling out loud at nothing. But that confidence that they get from doing it in front of everyone is the first step to saying, you know, at a playground, be like, I don't like that, instead of me being like, oh, can you stop? So yeah, it applies a lot, and like you said, it's definitely not for showing off. But it happens. kids
yeah, it's kids as kids are. No, this has been very eye-opening. I kind of low-key wish I had warmed up before I came here. But hey, things happened. You know, if I can do it having like zero warm-up and I just showed up to the interview, surely going through classes and instruction, you can as well. So here's the best part of our programming today. Where can folks kind of find you? What are the kind of hours that you have? I know that on your site, one of the interesting things was you had a kind of it was a demo to see if they can if they enjoyed it. That is free, so give that a shout for sure. Yeah, take us away on how we can kind of find you, the hours, and if you are accepting students still or not.
Yes,
cool.
Yes. Yeah, so we run year-round, so we're kind of accepting students year-round. You can find our website at 4pointkd.com. Same as all our social media. Our handle's 4pointkd. We always do a free trial class first to see if it's something that, you know, matches with what the parents want to see, and if it's something that kids enjoy, because that's a big part. Again, if they're not having fun, we can't really reach them. And yeah, we always do free trial classes first. You can check out our social media and give us a shout, email, call, DM, whatever. We're there.
No, it was great because that's actually how I contacted Master Kevin, and he was fantastic. Ran me through everything that was going to happen today. Obviously, I know that it seems like we just walked in here and kicked some things around, but of course I double checked, made sure that was clear and we could do that. Very open, very welcoming folks. The energy I'm getting, even from you bringing your student, because I had originally only asked to interview Master Kevin, but you bring in a student shows great pride in how happy you are in instructing. I can see the confidence in Titus. It's literally beaming off of him when I stand over here. But it was fantastic. I would tell everyone, give it a try, even the kind of demo.
Yeah, a free trial class. So,
and then like how, so obviously I'm not a child. How does the kind of hours work for, is it like Monday, Tuesdays for kids? Is there an adults class? Are they tiered?
Yeah, so we base the kids' classes on their rank. So we have beginner classes. We have a separate class for 3 to 5s, and then we have a separate teen and adult class in the evenings. So we run from 3:30 until about 9:20 during the weekdays, and then just 11 to 1 on Saturdays. But yeah, if you check out our website, all our schedules are there, and if you need, send out a message or give us a call, and we'll be happy to help you out.
Perfect. No, this has been amazing. I'm always excited to do this. I'm so excited to have done this. This was eye-opening. I had a great time. I don't know if you guys could tell on the TV screen, but we've taken up enough of your folks' time for today on this beautiful Saturday. Weather is gorgeous, so I'll let everyone go. But as always, thank you again for having us. Thank you guys for demonstrating everything. This is Gabby from RNG in the 780, and we'll catch you another time.
What's that? Yeah, I got a big one over here.
Sorry, folks. We're just gonna come back here because our cameraman, Harvey, was not convinced that these boards could be broken and thought that I had some assistance. So we're gonna see how he does it. So take it away, folks.
Okay, we'll just go through the basics on the target first. Are you a righty or a lefty with your feet?
Right.
A righty. Okay, so let's point your toes that way towards Gabby. And then, so the big thing is striking with the heel, right? If you strike with your toes, it's like jabbing your own toes. Okay, so let's turn your hips and let's lift your right knee up towards your chest, and then you're just gonna push with your heel. There we go, good. Okay, let's try it again. Try to keep those shoulders back a little bit and push.
Oops. Okay.
And go. There we go, good. Let's do it one more time. Good, and let's add a step. So your left foot's gonna step towards your right, lift that knee up and a nice strong push. Good, okay. Now go ahead and kick it a little harder. There we go, one more time. Good stuff, all right. Let's see it. Nervous?
Yeah.
Okay, so same thing as him. Take your time, all right? Don't go until you're ready. Once you're there, go through the technique in your head. Positive talk only. When you're ready, go for it.
We're just gonna zoom in on the board here and show you that yes, it's also a solid board there as well.
It's pretty thick.
Oh yeah, no, it's please go ahead.
All right,
continue.
face that way.
Okay.
When you're ready, make sure you strike with your heel.
So it was like.
Yep. There we go. You got it. Good stuff. First try.
Wow. Okay, I guess. All right, that's.
That's kind of hurt.
I don't know if I'm gonna add this part anymore now. A little nervous, but yeah, thank you again. That was impressive, Harvey. Good job. And now we're actually out.